Hey everyone, it's Brian here. Today I'm coming on to do a video to show you how to make this junior legal pad holder. I had gotten this tutorial from Michaela Creations here on YouTube. I'll link her channel in the description box below this video, and also her channel. I'll tag her channel in the title of this video as well. But we're gonna probably put extra pocket here at the end. I never really finished that part. And we got another pocket here. And then we got two more pockets here. One going diagonal, the other one going diagonal the other way. And we got a nice little pen holder here. I actually came up with this part myself. And this part here as well. It was kind of my idea too. Plus we have a junior legal pad. Holds that. And it also holds one of those Dollar Tree 3.5 by 5 inch notepads that you get 5 for $1. And also holds a pack of 3x3 post-it notes too. So this is like a really cool craft, I think. And I will probably in the near future be selling these on my Etsy shop as well for $10 plus shipping. So look out for that. I'll leave the Etsy shop link in the description box too, just in case you're interested in buying one. So we close it like this, making sure that, make sure this is above the pen holder, and it's all closed with a Velcro dot. So you may be wondering how to make this thing. That's what we're about to do, actually. We're going to make this. So you're going to want to start out with 2 pieces of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. You probably want some pretty thick cardstock, like 90 pound at least. That one I just made was out 110 pound. I believe this is 90 pound cardstock here. So it should work. The first piece we're going to leave alone for the moment. Second piece we're going to cut in half at 5.5 inches. So we're going to have one piece of 8.5 by 5.5 and one piece of 8.5 by 11. Now what we're going to do with the 8.5 by 11 piece is we're going to put this on the scoreboard. And I'm going to go ahead and score 1/2 inch, just very lightly. So let's see if I can get that in frame. Just score it lightly at 1/2 inch. Don't have to press down on it too hard and mash it. This is just a guide to put our paper down, our tape, and then our other paper. Okay. Now what we want to do is go ahead and put some tape over here. I believe this is 3/8 inch tape I'm using. But if you want to use 1/2 inch tape and just skip the scoring part, that'll be cool too. Now I'm going to varnish this down with the bone folder. Take the backing off. Put some Barely Art glue on here. Then we're going to go ahead and line this up the best we can to this 1/2 inch score mark. Like so. I'm going to burnish that down real well to get the excess glue out. Flip it over, do the same thing. Burnish for excess glue. So now what we come out with is a piece of cardstock that measures 8.5 inches tall by 16 inches wide. So what we want to do now is go ahead, bring out scoreboard again. Going to start on the full sheet here. So in other words, this is where our seam is. And we're going to score at 6 inches. And 7 inches. And you could turn it around and do it again at 2 and 3 inches, but I'm going to show you a little trick that Michaela showed in her video. She folded and burnished her thing back at 7 inches and laid it against the edge of this scoreboard. And then we went ahead and scored again at 6 inches and 7 inches. So I'll show you. That amounts to flipping it around 180 degrees and scoring at 2 inches and 3 inches. So we're going to go ahead now and put up the scoreboard for now. We will need it again later. So we're gonna start now seeing the beginnings of our thing, and I'm gonna actually put this up a little higher, the camera, so you can see a little better of what I'm doing. I'm sorry, I should have done that before I started. And now we're gonna go ahead, take a couple pieces of this cardstock. You're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock. Especially if it's directional cardstock, you're going to need 2 pieces to mat the outside and another 3 or so to mat the inside. But since this is not directional, we're still going to do that anyways. So what we're going to do is take 2 of these at first. Put the others up for the moment. We're going to cut the branding strip off. I'm actually going to go ahead and cut it off a little more than that. And as you can tell, I need new trimmer blades. And I really need to get them quick, because this is getting very fuzzy all the time and I'm not liking it. So what we're going to do now is go up, flip over to 8¼ inches. Because remember now, this project is 8½ inches tall. So we're going to want 1/4 inch around. So that'll be 1/8 inch on all 4 sides of the gap. So we're going to go ahead and cut 8¼ inches. And what I find to do when you get these fuzzy edges, just rub over it or scrape over it lightly with your thumbnail and your index finger, like that. Usually that gets most of the burrs off immediately. So what we want to do first is go ahead and cut down the 12-inch side at 5 3/4 inches. And we're going to want to do that twice. And I do this both sides too. Do it one way, flip it over, do it the other way. So I really don't like those burrs. And now we're going to go ahead and get our second piece that we had. And once again, cut at 8 1/4 inches. So that'll be 8 1/4 inches tall. Can't really see that well. There we go. And we're now going to go ahead and cut one piece on the 12-inch side down, cut down at 11 1/4, sorry. As you can see right there. So that'll give us a 3/4 inch piece for one of our spines. We're going to do the same thing at 10 1/2. It's our other 3/4 inch spine. Now we're going to want to cut again at 1 3/4 inches for the flap. So we're going to go ahead and cut at 8 3/4 inches. That should do it. And this is left over for the inside. If you're using double-sided paper, or if you want to use the same paper, go ahead and use this for the inside if you want, or whatever. But we're not going to be using it right this second. So if you're using directional cardstock, you're wanting to start over on this end and work towards the right. And you're going to want everything facing upwards. So basically, what you're going to be doing is starting here, stuff facing upwards if it's directional, and then, keep on going from there. So we're going to go ahead and start gluing this down. And of course, I forgot to get the burrs off. Going to do this first spine piece. I think it goes this way. And then the first 5 3/4 inch piece. Depending upon how long it takes to get this first part done, I may have to break this video into 2 parts. Because it does take a little while to get all this done. And then our other spine piece. And our final 5 3/4 inch by 8 1/4 inch pieces on. And that's it for the outside. Now we can start working on the inside. So we're going to want to cut a piece of this piece of cardstock here that we have to 8 1/2 by 7 inches. I believe that's what we want. We may cut it back a little bit after I do the scoring. So now on this 7-inch side, we're going to score at 1 inch. And 1 1/2 inches. varnish. Put up the scoreboard for now. And now we're going to have our part that holds the pockets and the Post-its and such. So I'm going to go ahead and put some tape down here. I'm going to get my Xyron tape runner. And get some glue down. And we're going to want to put this on the right side because our pen's going to go in the middle spine that divides. Our pen, remember, that goes here. So we're going to want to put the 1 inch mark butted up against this score mark here at the first of the 2 score marks. So it's going to go something like this. We're going to have the 1/2 inch hanging out. And we're going to put this 1 inch score line, fold it, and have it butted up against this first score mark on the second spine where you have the flap to open it. I hope that makes sense. See if this works. And it looks like it does. Looks like it works very well. So we're going to go ahead and start lining the inside of this. Now I'm going to start out by using just this piece here that we had from before. That we're using the reverse side, so it's not directional, so we can just, use it however. I'll cut this down, of course, 8 1/4 inches. And I think it's 5 3/4 inches on this one as well. I'll find out in just a second for you. Yeah, I think that's right. So we're going to want to make the same size on everything, except this time, instead of 2 pieces of 5 3/4 by 8 1/4, we're going to want 4 of them. So I'll run you through everything again. I'm going to get 8 1/4 and a 2 pieces measure 3/4. And where are we at here? 2 1/4, so 1 1/2. So that's not quite going to work for the flap. So we can just toss that if we want to. We're definitely going to need 3 pieces for the inside here, I think. If you start from scratch and use directional cardstock, of course. So we're going to go ahead and cut this down to 8 1/4. 5 3/4. 5 3/4 again. Now we're going to cut this down 8 1/4 as well, this way. We're going to use this as our spine piece. I'll cut that down to 1 3/4. Really got to get the birds off this one. I'm going to cut up one more. For that last 5 3/4 piece. So I'm going to cut that down to 8 1/4. By 5 3/4. Get all these little bits and pieces off of here and start gluing. So we're going to want to start by finding the glue, of course. Now I'm going to use the opposite side of the cardstock this time to give a little contrast. I can't even see, or I haven't glued yet. There we go, I guess. Now we're going to go ahead and burnish this down. Make sure we get all the excess glue out, if there is any. And we're going to do this one next. This is going to be pieced with the joint here. So we're just going to close that up. I'm going to try to use a different kind of glue this time. See if this will help. That didn't do much of any better. Now for our third piece of the 8 1/4 by 5 3/4. Lay that down. Make sure it's even on all 4 sides. Burnish. Now we're going to get our final 8 1/4 by 5 3/4. First, gotta get all this stuff off here. I'm going to go ahead and try to get glue all over this, but doesn't seem to be working well, so I'm going to give up on that one. Go back to this one. Oh yeah, that's got to be more like 5 1/4 inches because of that 1/2 inch mark, but I'm just going to put it on here anyways and just trim off the excess. I totally forgot about that one, so you're not going to want 3 8 1/4 by 5 3/4. Not 4. You're going to want 3 of them and one that's 8 1/4 by 5 1/4. That was important information I did not think about at first. So I apologize for that. I'm going to go ahead and try to get this trimmed off. Fix my little boo-boo. There we go. Boo-boo fixed. And you could put like a 1/4 inch piece here if you wanted to, but I'm not going to. So that's not needed, I don't think. Actually, I just realized you need 2 pieces of 5 1/4 by 8 1/4 because this back piece also folds. I mean, the back of it also folds. So there we go. That's better. I could have kept that other 1/4 inch if I wanted to, or 1/2 inch, and just laid it across here, but I didn't. I don't think I'm going to put it back on either. Nah. I don't think so. So I'm going to get the, let's see here. Where are my 2 spine pieces at? I don't see my spine pieces anymore, but I was about to lay the first one down. I think what I need to do is cut it again. Yeah, I can cut it like this. Now, I know I had cut 2 pieces for the spine, but I don't see them. Oh well. That's cut now. Oh, now I see them. Of course. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue these down. It wouldn't be a Bean Crash video without a mistake or two, would it? I don't think it would be. And now we're going to put our, it's too big, so it's got to be this one. There we go. And here we go. We have the inside lined up now, except for this one spine piece. And I'll explain to you why we're not laying that down yet. Because I'm going to make the pencil or pen holder next. And then I'm going to lay, first I'm going to make the pen holder. Then I'm going to glue the pen holder on top of this. And then we're going to put it down. It just works easier that way, for me at least. You can just lay this down right now if you want to, and then put the pen holder on top of it, but, you know, to each their own, I guess you could say. So this was the remainder of the 5x7 that we cut a few minutes ago. So that's now, 8.5 by 7. So that's now 8.5 by 4. So what I want to do is cut this down to 5 3/4. On the 8.5 inch side, and on the 4 inch side, we want to cut it down to 2 3/8. Now we're going to bring out the scoreboard again. For hopefully the last time for the regular scoreboard. Maybe one more time we need to bring it out. Going to score on this 5 3/4 inch side at 1/2 inch. Flip it 90 degrees counterclockwise. So now we're on that 2 3/8 inch side, and that 1/2 inch score mark we just made is now on the bottom of the facing down on the scoreboard. So we don't want it facing up, we want it facing down. You'll see why in just a second. Really, it doesn't matter, but this is my preference to do it this way. So we're going to score 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1/2 inches, and 2 inches. So as you can see now, after I burnish it real quick, as you can see, we have 5 little areas here. There's first 4 are 1/2 inch, and that last bit is 3/8 of an inch. So where we have this 1/2 inch squares here, we want to just cut off that last one on the right. That's 3/8 of an inch. Cut that out completely. And then we're gonna go ahead and cut a slit here on the other score marks up to that 1/2 inch line. And now we're going to go ahead and lay that 3 inch side facing up like so. And we're going to go ahead and glue that down. We're going to try to glue it down at least, and not get the glue everywhere. I'm going to flip this over to where we see the score line here, another score line here in the middle, and the last score mark is on this right side here like that. That's why we want it. That's going to make the basics of the box, the pen holder. And now we're going to go ahead and grab our little 1/2 inch squares here, put one down, put some glue on there, opposite side goes down, just hold it there for a moment, and then more glue. And then this one here, that goes down. Hold it for a moment. And then the opposite side, which is the final flap, put some glue down on top of the other one. And put that flap down and hold it for a moment. So got a good connection there. So now what we want to do is go ahead and grab this spine piece here, the pattern paper, put the glue on the back of this pen holder, where we had that last edge there. And we're going to put it down like so. Going to put gentle pressure on it for a moment so it can get some contact with their spine piece. Don't want to mash it down. And you can't put like bone folder in there and burnish it down because it won't fit in there. You could be argued you could do that with the pen, but I'm not going to do that either. And there we go. It's pretty much nice and stuck down now. So we're going to let it set for a little more time. Make sure it's good to go, and it looks like it is. Now we're going to go ahead and put our Bearly Art glue on the bottom of the spine cover. Make sure you got your top of the pen holder facing upwards, like so. And bring this down like that. And you can place that down. And there we go. That's down now. So I'm just going to burnish it just to make sure. I'm going to burnish on these sides as well where the pen holder isn't at. Want to make sure everything's down well. That's nice and stuck well. That's good. So now we're going to work on pockets for this. No, actually, next we're going to go ahead and put our legal pad in there. And I need to find my, oh, there we go. Gonna need this piece that at the beginning, you know, when we had our 8.5 by 5.5 at the beginning, we cut it in half. The 8.5 by 11.5. This is what's remaining of that. And we're gonna go ahead now and use that to go ahead and put in the legal pad holder, which I'm going to need to borrow this legal pad out of this one. What we're going to do here is, first of all, we're going to flip that over. I'm going to go ahead and put this as far up as I can. Back it up into the top of the legal pad. Flip it over. Fold over. Burnish real well. Then I'm going to scooch it on over, just slice a little bit, maybe like 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch. 1/8 of an inch would probably be better. I think that'll do it. And then flip that over and burnish it. And now we're going to go ahead and put our glue down. I may actually put some tape on here too first. So we're only going to put it on this outside parts, so we can refill this when it runs out. There we go. Put some glue down. And it does not have to be 5.5 inches either. But 8.5 inches, yes. It's got to be 8.5 inches wide for this to really work right. But 5.5 inches is a little, I guess, a little overkill. Now we're going to go ahead and put this in this middle compartment here along the back where here. And then we're going to center this more like up and down centered, but we also want to center this more to the right than to the left or center. And that's so we can, have room for the pen holder. Let's slip this on out. Burnish real well. Put it back in. Make sure that's stuck really well. I just saw a spot that isn't really. Okay, we're going to put that legal pad back in. Okay. Now what we want to do is get another piece of this black cardstock. And we're going to cut that 6 inches by 6 inches. Six by 6. And then we're going to go ahead and cut diagonally down the middle. Like this. So we're going to have 2 even pieces, 2 even triangles like this. And we're going to bring out the scoreboard again. And go ahead and score it 1/2 inch on the bottom. Flip it over counterclockwise 1/4 turn. And score again 1/2 inch. And do the same thing with this one. 1/2 inch on one flat side and then the other flat side. 1/2 inch. And while we're at it, we're also going to want to cut this down to, I believe, I forget what I cut the other one down to on the other one. Oh yeah, 3 inches, I believe. 3 inches. That's 3 inches tall. by I think it's 6 3/4 inches wide. See how that works? Then I'll do it. We'll see in a minute though. On this 3-inch side here, we're going to score it 1/2 inch. And then, again, on the long side, 1/2 inch. And then 1/2 a turn, 1/2 inch again on the other side. See how that works? That's actually not good. So we're going to have to cut this off. Got more like 6 inches. That ought to do it. So we want it not to be quite as wide as this. We're going to go ahead here and score again 1/2 inch. And that's how that's going to work. Like that. So before I do anything else, I want to go ahead and punch a hole, 1/2 circle, down about the middle here. Like that. Oh, that's a little off center, but I think it'll be okay. That's 1/2 inch circle punch I used, and I didn't quite go halfway down. Let's see here, I need scissors. And now we're going to go ahead and trim that off. And that as well. Same thing with the other one. So I'm going to go ahead and put this first one down, like so. Glue it down. Needs to come this way and up. Also, I think that'll work. Nope. It's going further out. I don't know why. We're just going to glue this again. And now I realize why it kept going out is because I kept putting it that way, because I totally forgot I cut the decorative paper at that edge. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side, but correctly this time. There we go. I sent my bone folder flying behind the desk, so I have to go grab that in a moment. You can stay there a little bit. Now we're going to put this here. And you can always, put some more pattern paper on top of this, but I'm not going to do that because I've already pretty much wasted a little over an hour of your time. If you want to call it that. Wasting time. I've taken up over an hour of your time. Now what we're going to do is finally be almost done with this. We're going to make our 3.5 by 5 inch notepad holder and our 3 by 3 inch post note holder, which I'll show you some way to do that with the envelope scoreboard. So I'll show you how to do that real quick. So first, for the 3.5 by 5 holder, we are going to go down here. It says 3.5 by 5, 4 bar, and you cut the paper to 7.25 by 7.25 inches. But we're actually going to cut it to 7.5 inches square. We're adding 1/4 inch because of the thickness. So we're not making a regular envelope here. We're actually making an envelope box. So let's go ahead and start cutting for that. We want 7.5 square. And we'll get the other one ready too. The 3 by 3, we start out with a piece of 5.25 inch square, but of course we're going to add 1/4 inch. So that will be 5.5 inches square. So we're going to need another piece here for that. So we're going to go ahead and cut that down 5.5 inches square. And we're almost done with this, y'all. We're almost done, I promise. So we're going to go ahead and see this first one. We start at 3 1/8, I believe. So what we're going to do here is take the right one here. 3 1/8. Punch and score. Then we're going to go 1/4 inch further to 1 3/8. 3 3/8, I mean, not 1 3/8. Punch again. And score again. Then we're going to 1/4 turn it. Line it up like we would for a normal envelope. Line up that first score mark. Punch. And score. 1/4 inch to the other score line. Punch. And score. We're going to do that all 4 sides. And one more time. Quarter inch over and punch and score. We're going to do the same thing for 3 by 3. With this one, we're going to start at 2 5/8. So that means 2 5/8, of course, where we start. Punch and score. Move it over to 7/8. Punch and score. Third side. And one more time. Oh, wait. I didn't even score that, right? Because I was off the score line. Of course. we're gonna put the scoreboard, punch board up, and we'll remove all that stuff. Now what we gotta do is go ahead and get all these little snippets here off. We'll do the same thing with this one. Go ahead and start folding these down. And now we're going to go ahead and get the little 3.5 by 5 thing here. And I'm going to slip it in here so I can, get everything lined up and all that good stuff. So let's see here. And this will be a little bit larger than the thing itself because it's an envelope. But it'll do the job for you, for sure. Now I need to grab a 3x3. I'm going to go ahead and grab some of these Velcro dots. Yeah, it's not quite on center, so we'll try to get that better. There we go. That's much better. I'm going to grab the other half here. And we're going to go ahead and put that down like that. Give a good old push. Open back up. We're good to go. Same thing with this. There as we go. We can now glue these on. Gonna off center this just a little bit. Actually, I can't. But if I could, I would. Yeah, I'm gonna have to actually send that this way, all the way to the edge. Forgot about that because this being here. And now we're going to go ahead and put some on here. And folks, we are almost done here. There we go. And now our last but not least, we're going to go ahead and put a what's called here. A Velcro dot. Just going to go ahead and put that there. Grab one from the other end. There you go. And it's now on and good to go. Actually, back that up a little bit. There we go. There we go. That's what it looks like from the top. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so yet, please do subscribe to this channel and turn on all notifications. That's all for now, and I'll see y'all again real soon. Bye.